The Risks of Running Windows XP by On-Site PC Solution, your Office IT support. The clock is ticking for computers still running Windows XP. As of April 8, 2014, Microsoft will no longer be releasing updates for Windows XP. Now, what does this mean for your office or home if you have computers or laptops that are still running Windows XP? Your office or home computers could be at huge risk. Now, what was so special about Windows XP? Windows XP was released in 2001 as a major overhaul to Windows 98 and Microsoft's very unpopular Windows ME operating system. Some of the biggest advantages to Windows XP at the time were, due to its widespread use and popularity, there was a lot of support and information out there. It is simple, clean, and easy to use for its time. You need a lot less hardware, like RAM or CPU, to run Windows XP, and being extremely popular means a lot more hardware vendors will have support for it. Now keep in mind, most of these general qualities applied to Windows XP before Microsoft released Windows 7. 2010 was the last year that Windows XP was the most widely used operating system on the planet, since Windows 7 was more efficient and reliable. Now, what are the risks in running Windows XP now? Number 1, patching. After April 8, 2014, Microsoft will no longer be releasing patches and updates to Windows XP. Now, why should this matter to you? When Microsoft finds a bug in one of its more modern operating systems like Windows 7 or Windows 8, it is very likely that the same bug exists in Windows XP, since all of Microsoft's operating systems share very similar code under the hood. As soon as an update is released for Windows 7 or Windows 8, anyone in the public can look at what was fixed, which is practically pointing out exactly where Windows XP is vulnerable. Number 2, lacking modern security measures. In the past, computers were more vulnerable to viruses that were passed through files on a USB drive, a floppy disk, or a CD. Nowadays, most infections occur over the internet. Windows 7 and Windows 8 have updates built in to prevent these infections from happening as much as possible. However, Windows XP simply doesn't have the support and the software to help prevent the computer from being infected from these attacks. Now, how can you check if you're running Windows XP? The easiest way to check if you're running Windows XP is to restart your computer and check for the Windows XP boot up logo as shown in the link below. Now, how can you protect your office or home computers? At this point, there's no guaranteed way to keep Windows XP running and safe at the same time. You should be planning on upgrading your operating system, whether it's on your desktop or your laptop, by purchasing Windows 7 or Windows 8. We would recommend Windows 7 as it is very similar to Windows XP and has a very intuitive interface. Both operating systems have great hardware support, so you should not need to upgrade too much of your hardware unless your computer comes from a time when hand cranks were used to turn them on. This is On-Site PC Solution, your Office IT support.